Hey everyone, my name is Spencer Bauke. Welcome to week 12 of Workout Wednesday Power BI Edition. This week we're going to be working on some custom sorting techniques that may be helpful when trying to create some reports that have some sorting that may not be an out-of-the-box functionality for Power BI. Let's get started with connecting to our dataset. So this week we're going to be using a Power BI example dataset that we are provided by Microsoft. You can see I'm in my workspace and I'm going to go down to the very bottom left to the button called Get Data. I'm going to click on Get Data. We have these options pop up here and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to click Samples. The sample dataset that I want to use is the sales and marketing example. You can click on the button and you can connect, and what connecting will do is it will actually bring a report, a dashboard, and the example data set into your workspace. So if I go to my workspace and I go down, I've already brought it in, so I'm just showing you what it brings in. It can bring in the sales and marketing sample dashboard, the sales and marketing sample report, and the sales and marketing sample data set. So now that we know that that's in my workspace, what we're going to do, and this is already the finished one, but what we're going to do is let's open a new report. And just to show you how to connect to this data, I'm going to connect to a new report, and we're actually going to use the Power BI Datasets option here in the home ribbon. What this allows us to do is to connect to any of the other data sets that are stored on our workspaces on Power BI Service. So that can include example data sets or data sets that you've used in other reports, data sets shared to you by other people in your organization. So that's what we're going to use today to connect to our data. You can also go to the Power BI website and I will share the link in the blog post. And in the blog post, you're able to go and click on a link that will take you to PBIX files that contain all the appropriate data sets. So if you're not able to connect this way, don't worry, we have you covered. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and click on Power BI Datasets. Okay. I don't know why it's asking me this since I'm already logged in, but I will enter in my email. And I am given a screen that has my data sets that have been published to my workspace. As you can see here, I have my sales and marketing sample, and that's what I'm going to use to create our report today. So I click on that report, or excuse me, on that data set, and it pulls that data model into my report. Now, as you see here, I'm trying to right click on these lines. I can't click on them. The reason is this data model is already set up in the back end. I can't go in and edit it. The only way to edit a data model like this is to download it as an owner, change it, and then publish it back up. But since I'm not the owner of this data set, I cannot change this. So we already have our data model. Let's look at what we're trying to create. So if we come over here, this is the report that we're trying to create this week. And its focus is less on the report itself and more on a couple of the techniques that we're going to use. So this week, we're going to focus on sorting. And if you've used Power BI, you probably know that sorting can be a little bit of a pain because there's only a couple options built in. If you come here and you select sort by, you get ascending and descending, and then sort by the fields that are contained within your report. Let's dive in and create some of these charts. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a bar chart by total sales and then sort it by total units. So not what the chart is showing, but total units, which is another field. You can see here that youth is actually lower than mix in total sales, but we sorted it differently. This bar chart, again, we're doing the category by sales, but we are sorting it by a custom sort. See, there's nothing really logical about how these are sorted other than we want them in this order. Now, a lot of times when you're working with clients or you're working at your job for a report, people may want certain items sorted a certain way, and that order will never change. So we're going to show you how to do that. Then this is sales by segment, but it is sorted alphabetically by the category. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. So let's get to building. This is not necessarily in the requirements for this week, but I'm going to just build out this report pretty much as close as possible, just so that we are tracking towards the end goal here. Let's see. And I am going to cheat and copy this text because I'm lazy. I'm going to bring in a text box. My custom sorting. Oh, I don't want my background. Then I'm going to come here. I'm going to grab this text. This is the text I included in the report this week, the actual instructions of what we're trying to show. So that'll be helpful here. Okay, here, I'm going to turn off my background even before I bring it in. Sweet. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a little shape. This is a little formatting thing. It's not, like I said, none of this is really necessary. I'm just showing you how I did it. We're going to rotate this line 90 degrees. We're going to make it a little darker gray. I'm going to make it a tiny bit smaller. Come here. Right here. Use that to separate. Cool. So now I have my title area here to the left. Let's see here. Make sure, there we go. Okay. Sweet. So now I have my title area. So now to create my bar charts with my desired sorting. So let's get this first bar chart and let's remind ourselves of what we need to make the bar chart of and then what to sort it by. So first we need to create a bar chart that shows total sales by category. Easy enough. Let's go in here, let's grab our sales, add it to values. Let's come here to the product and grab our category field and drag it to axis. And then let's color the legend as well, or make the legend color by the categories. Sweet. So now what we need to do is we need to be able to sort this not by sales, because we can see that it's already sorted itself by sales. We want to sort it by total units, and total units is a measure that's found in this data set. So let's go down. We find total units here. So how do we sort this? Right? Let's click on the three dots. Well, we can sort ascending and descending, and then you see here we can sort by category and sales, but it's not letting us choose to sort by total units. We also don't want to put total units in as our legend, because we don't want to color it by total units. We still want it colored by category. But what we're going to do is we're going to take that total units, we're going to add it to our tooltip. And what adding it to our tooltip allows us to do is to go down here to these three ellipses and sort by, and now our total units is available in the sort by option. So now you can see as we go and hover over here, we have our sales, we have our total units, and we can see now that total units for youth is 62,000, total units for mix is 42,000. So this is now sorted appropriately. Now what we need to do is we need to create a bar chart. I'm going to delete that total units out of our tooltips. We need to create a bar chart that shows total sales by category. Done. Now we need to sort this bar chart in this specific order: rural, urban, mix, youth. Okay, well, as you can see, there's really no logical way of doing this by saying, oh, sort it by units or sort it by sales. This is a very specific order. Now, this is very useful when there are specific steps that need to come one after the other in your data set. I've run across this many times at clients where it's, well, this category comes before this category comes after this category, please sort it like that. There's no field per se that you can use to sort it like that. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to create a field that does just that. So let's create a measure. There's a few ways that you can do this, and I'll walk you through a couple of those here. But we're going to do it this way first. So let's just say first, for our values of our category field equal, and what's our order? So rural is first, then 1. If not, we're going to do this thing again. If the values of our category equal urban spelling, then 2. If not, we're going to say if our values of our category of our category equal mix, then 3. And if not 3, then if our values of our category equal youth, then 4. Else, we'll just put 0. And then we'll close out our parentheses, say, sweet, done. Like I said, there's a couple ways to do this. I will walk you through the other way that I've done this before, but this is how we're going to do it in this example. So now let's go to our sort order, and what are we going to do? We're going to bring it to our tooltip. And now that it's in our tooltip, it is in our sort by. We can come here, click on our sort order field, and because it's in descending, we can sort it ascending. Now we're sorting rural, urban, mixed, youth. Rural, urban, mixed, youth. Just a way to get your category to sort in the way that we want it. There's really no reason to sort them by this other than we want them in that way, and now we can control the way in which we sort them. Here we go. Last example. Let's create a bar chart. I'm just going to format it like this. Let's create a bar chart showing total sales by segment. So actually, take this out. We're going to bring our segment in here. Now we have our sales by segment. So now what we want to do is we want to sort these segments by category alphabetically. So we essentially want to group these different segments by their category and then sort those alphabetically. So what we're going to do, there's no way to do it currently. Sort by, it's not in our options to sort by. We're not able to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to bring our category here to legend, because I also think it would be good to match these categories with the categories that are used in the bar charts on the left. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to say sort by we're going to have to add this to the tooltip as well. You actually can't sort by anything, by what's in your legend, oddly enough, but you can come down here and put it in your tooltip. And now by sort it by category, it's in descending right now. We'll put it in ascending. So now we have it sorted descending alphabetically by our category. You can see that the colors match here on the left-hand side. So that is the answer to this week's challenge. I hope you found it helpful, a little tip on how to custom sort. Now, here's another way to do it, and I'm just going to explain this to you verbally because I cannot add any more data to this data model currently. What you could do is you could create a table, a sorting table, and you could use whatever category that, in this case, the field is called category, but I'm just saying you could use whatever column or field to sort that you wanted to. You could put those values of that field in the first column, then in the second column, put their rank, and this is all using the enter data button right here. So you can enter the data, and let's just say your values are A, B, C, D. You could put column 1, value A, value B, value C, value D, and then you could put their ranks in whatever rank that you wanted, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could then relate that table back to the table in which the first column values reside. You could then use a related function to bring that sort order field, which would be your second column from your sort table, into the data set. You could then come into the data view and you could sort by category. And then, let's see here, let me find it for you. The sort by category, it may not actually even be in here. Let's see here. It may not be in here because of it might be just in your data view. Yeah, it's going to be just in your data view, which is not here because I'm using a Power BI data set. But what you can do is then you can sort that field by that sort order, and then you're able to control the sort from that sorting table. That's another way of doing it. In this case, I use a measure and add it to tooltip, but whichever way you want to do it, whichever way it works for you, is the way that works for you. I mean, so if it works for you, go ahead and do it. But hopefully this has given you a couple ideas on sorting different values, whether this be in a bar chart or a line chart or a matrix. This is another way that you can get your values to sort in a way that Power BI does not necessarily let you sort out of the box. Hopefully you found this helpful and applicable to your work, and thank you so much for participating in week 12 of Workout Wednesday Power BI Edition. Hope to see you next week. Have a great week, everybody.